Hi, and welcome back to the final quick book looks for the year. We're finishing it off with Blue Christmas by Mary Kay Andrews. It's about Wheezy Foley and what happens at her antique shop as she's trying to win the Historical District Decorating Contest. Chapter 1. I was just hot gluing the last popcorn and cranberry strand to the second of two 5-foot-high topiary Christmas trees when my best friend came breezing into Maisie Daisy's. Phoebe Loudermilk stopped dead in her tracks and gazed around the first floor of my antique shop, wrinkling her nose in distaste. She gestured towards the half-empty crates of apples, oranges, and kumquats scattered around my work table, at the halved pineapples and pomegranates spilling out of grocery sacks, and all of the freshly fallen drifts of popcorn littering the floor. "What the hell?" she said dramatically. There are very few statements Bibi makes that are not laden with drama. "Are you now turning to a fruit vending as a sideline?" She shook her head sadly. "And I thought you were doing so well with the antiques." "Christmas decorations," I said, pressing the popcorn strings onto the surface of the topiary tree, which I'd already covered with what seemed like a whole orchard full of tiny green crab apples and kumquats, "for the historic district decorating contest." "Oh," she said, drawing it out. With one tentative fingertip, she tapped the tree I'd completed, knocking off a kumquat, which rolled onto the floor, joining half a dozen other pieces of fallen fruit. "Cute," she said dismissively. "Cute? Is that all you can say? Cute? I've spent 3 whole days with this project. I've blown a good $300 on fresh fruits and nuts in styrofoam forms and strung what feels like 10 miles of popcorn and cranberries. And just look at my hands." I held them out for her to see. There were needle pricks on my fingertips, hot glue burns on my palms, and multiple bandages from self-inflicted skewerings. "Criminal," Phoebe said. "But why?" "Because," I said, "I am, by God, going to win the commercial division decorating contest this year, even if I have to cover the entire surface of this building with every piece of fresh fruit in Savannah." "Again, why would you bother? I mean, what's in it for you?" "Pride," I said. "Last year I really thought I had it sewn up. Remember? I did that whole deal with the gilded palmetto fronds and magnolia leaf swag, and I had all the dried okra pods and pine cones, and I didn't even make honorable mention. They gave first place to that stupid boutique on Whitaker. Can you believe they won with those lame-o kudzu vines and hokey bird's nests and stuffed cardinals? I mean, stuffed birds! It was absolutely Hitchcockian." "A tragic oversight, I'm sure," Bibi said, looking around the shop. "Remind me again why it was so crucial that I come over here today." "You promised to watch the shop," I said. "There's an auction at Trader Bob's over in Hardyville that starts at noon. This close to Christmas, I can't afford to close up while I go on a buying trip. I was also hoping you might help me put up all of the decorations before I leave in an hour." She sighed. "All right, what are we doing?" I gestured towards the pair of topiary trees. "Help me drag these outside. They're going in those big cast iron urns by the front doors. Then we've got to tack up the over door plaques with the pineapples and lemons and limes, and swag the grapevines around the show windows. I've got two kinds of grapes, red and green, and we'll hot glue those once the vines are in place. Then the only thing left in the window is display, but I'll set that up once I get back from Hardyville." With a maximum amount of huffing and puffing and some very un-Christmas-like swearing when Bibi broke an acrylic nail, we managed to get the decorations in place. "There," I said, standing out on the sidewalk gazing at our masterpiece. "Take that, Babaloo." "Babaloo who?" "Babaloo them," I said, pointing across Troop Square, "my nearest and queerest competition." "That's not very nice," she said. "I thought you loved gay men." "You don't know Manny and Cookie," I told her. Manny Alvarez and Cookie Parker had opened their shop on Harris Street the previous spring. Manny was a retired landscape designer from Delray Beach, Florida, and Cookie, well, Cookie claimed he'd been a Broadway chorus boy in the road show of Les Miserables, but he was 50 if he was a day, going bald, and weighed close to 300 pounds. I tried to be nice and welcoming. I took flowers over there on their opening day, invited them to dinner, but since the minute they opened, they've been trying to put me out of business, I told Bibi. "They've tried to snake some of my best pickers. They called up the city and complained about my customers parking in loading zones. They even went to the gift mart and came back with the exact same line of aromatherapy candles and bath salts I carry, and now they sell them for $2 cheaper." The nerve, Phoebe said. She craned her neck to look across the square at her shop. Looks like they're working on their Christmas decorations too. Must be half a dozen men swarming around over there. Well, look, they've got like a phone company truck with one of those cherry picker buckets hanging lights along the front of the building. I'm sure whatever they do will be gaudy as hell, I said, flouncing back into the shop with BB following close behind. Remember what they did for Halloween? The whole facade of the building was a red devil with the shop's windows lit up yellow lights as the devil eyes. Phoebe said noncommittally. They blinked off and on all night. I thought I was having a seizure the first time I looked over there and saw it. It damn near drove me nuts, I said, and it was so over the top. Not Savannah at all, Phoebe agreed, but flashy. You gotta give him that. Anybody could do what they've done, I said, if money was no object, and those two apparently rolling in it. I heard Manny personally donated $20,000 for the downtown business district's new Christmas lights. Of course, it's nothing but a thinly veiled attempt to buy the decorating contest. That is a lot of cash, though, Phoebe said. Where do they get their money? The old-fashioned way, I said. Inherited. I heard Manny had a much older lover down in Florida who died 2 years ago. He had a startup telecommunication company when he died. Manny got everything. Except good taste, Phoebe said. I shot her a grateful look. She really is the world's best friend. Alrighty then, I said, wiping my hands on the seat of my jeans. I'm going to head over to Hardyville. I should be back by 4. There's plenty of change in the cash register. Prices are marked on everything. Anything brown or orange should be considered Thanksgiving merchandise, and you can mark it down 50%. And if you see Manny or Cookie lurking around outside, trying to steal my decoration ideas, just sick Jethro on 'em. Jethro, she sighed heavily. At the sound of his name, Jethro, the shop dog, poked his nose out from under the work table where he'd been hiding, hoping I'd perhaps dropped a sausage biscuit along with all the runaway fruit. He adores you, I told Phoebe, and he's great company. He sheds, Phoebe said. He drools. He farts. At least he's consistent, I said, heading out the back door to my pickup truck. As Wheezy hopes to win the historical decorating competition for downtown Savannah, she runs into the issue of her decorations going missing and someone sneaking into her shop late at night, and she only has a couple of days to figure out who's doing what before the competition comes to an end. If you're interested in finding out what happens in the rest of the book, please check out Blue Christmas by Mary Kay Andrews. I hope you have a wonderful holiday season, and thank you for joining me.